Hello, everybody, and welcome to Monday, August 24th. This is your Science Daily Video Wrap-Up, or preview if you're not able to join us in class today. Here's our rundown of things that are happening today. Make sure you go on, do your bell ringer for a new week here, so click on the Monday folder. It should be green for this week, as the green background kind of designates there. Make sure to submit your Penny Lab from last week. Go into Friday's folder. Make sure that the Penny Lab is submitted. It should have a little green check mark next to it that says submitted next to the assignment. If it doesn't, that means that you need to go in there and submit it. What we're going to be doing is running down what our assignment is for the rest of the week here. So without further ado, let's get into that. So here is Schoology here. Let's open up the August folder. If you didn't hit submit for the assignment from last week, open up Friday's assignment right here. Assignment drops on a Penny Lab. There should be a little green check mark if you submitted it. If it's still grayed out that says need to be submitted, make sure you submit it. Open it up, go through the process. If you can't figure out how to do that, make sure that you see me next time that you're in class and I'll walk you through it. Open up today's folder and everything is going to be already in there. We're going to first open up the handout of the individual create your own lab guidelines and rubric. So I'm going to pull it up and kind of go through, walk you through it. Essentially what you're going to be doing today is that you're going to be coming up with your own lab to use the scientific method on in order to complete a question. Now when we're coming up with our own lab, we're doing a comparison lab, meaning that you're going to compare one thing to another. So what you need to make sure that you do is that your question is kind of addressing that it's not just a simple, hey, what happens if I do these two things, but rather, think back to our penny drop experiment. We tested root beer, Sprite, and apple juice. There's 3 different liquids being tested. You need to test for multiple things, and we're going to compare them, see which one is better than the rest. Think like name brand versus generic type of situation there. That's kind of the lab that we're going with, but it's completely up to you as far as what you want to do. You're going to be writing out your lab part using Google Slides. So the assignment today is a Google Slides instead of a Google Doc that you're going to be filling out. You're going to be taking pictures of your experiment throughout the week. We're going to do the graph, everything of the sorts that we did last week. We're just going to do this, but you are going to be creating everything yourself. On Monday of next week, these are going to be due. When they're going to be due, instead of giving a formal presentation, we are going to try to do a virtual presentation where you can look at a bunch of different experiments that your fellow peers have done. So you can kind of see what some of the other experiments some people were doing out there were. Here's the guideline as far as the project goes. On Monday, which is today, we're going to go over the rubric, which we're doing right now, and you're going to brainstorm. I'm going to show you how you can send me your brainstorm idea to get approved. Tuesday, we're going to solidify the idea. You're going to either wait for, or you have me, so you're going to wait for my approval on it, and I'll show you what that looks like. And then you're going to start steps 1 through 4. Some people have already started that on Monday if they got approved quick enough. So you're just continuing to go 1 through 4. If you are done with 1 through 4, and Wednesday's the next day, you can go ahead and bring in your stuff for Wednesday, and you're going to experiment. But if you're not done, you're going to finish your things, and then you'll experiment on Thursday. Wednesday and Thursday are kind of our 2 experiment days. It just depends on how far along you are working as far as when you can experiment. If you got everything ready to go for Wednesday, you can experiment on Wednesday. If you're still working on some of the other things, some of the other steps, we can wait until Thursday to test. But Wednesday and Thursday are test days. Friday, then, you're going to wrap everything up, create a graph, do a conclusion, finalize everything, and then on Monday of next week is the due date. That's the 31st. We'll have a virtual presentation viewing day so that we can see each other's work in a nice wrap-up fashion there. The rest of this document is how you're going to be graded. It's out of 60 points, so you can see how I've divided things out. A lot of 5 and 10 pointers going through there, kind of dividing it out here and there. Last week, I gave you some helpful hints and reminders as far as what each one of the steps is concerned with. I've taken that information and I've added it to the rubric. So there are these bullet points underneath each one of the slides. The slides basically represents a step in the scientific method that you'll be filling out. So take a look at that if you need reminders on what you need for each step. Now where your actual assignment is, if you go back to the folder, you'll open up the assignment, create your own lab. Over on the up at top, you'll have your My Documents. You open that up, it should create for your slides, and you'll open up your slides. I'm just going to open up a blank one right here so you can see what it looks like. It's pretty blank. You're going to be filling out all this information. So we did set up a couple of things for you, like there's a data table. When you need a data table, we gave you the link to that graph website to use the graph website again. But it's pretty blank right now for you to fill out your information. So just like the table was the other day, and we filled out each one of the sections, you're going to be filling out the same things, but in this case, it'll be for using slides instead of the Google Doc. So we're going to exit out of that. I'm going to head back to our week folder. This is how you're going to submit your brainstorm idea. You're going to click on this Padlet link here. I'm going to show it for you. And soon, boom, there's all of our labs and choices that people have been coming up with as far as things go there. How you're going to make this work, you can't really see it because of my head. Let me move my head real quick here up to the top. You'll have this pink plus button over on the side. When you click on that, it's going to bring you up a white box. You are going to answer 3 questions for me in there, and they're at the top of the page here. First off, you need to tell me your name because it might sign you in as anonymous. So if it does that, give me your name and your hour, because everybody's ideas are going to be on here. And then you are going to fill out the following information. 1, what is the lab that you're wanting to do? 2, what is the procedure of it? So how are you going to test it? What are you going to be testing? And then 3, are you able to get all the materials, or would there be something that is needed from me in order to get that information? And then I'm going to do one of 3 things to your post. When I read it, I'm either going to make it green and say good to go and give you maybe a suggestion on how to tweak it just a little bit. If I'm confused on something, I might mark it yellow and make a comment. So read through the comment. And then if it's marked red, that means you're not going to be able to do this no matter how we tweak it. So you need to go back to the drawing board. I've done very few reds. Mostly the reds are like, oh, I want to set something on fire, which you're not going to set anything on fire, so get that out of your head. We got to be safe still in class. But it's wide open as far as what you want to do. And everybody's ideas are on this Padlet, so you can go through and see other ideas. If you need to get some inspiration from them, you can hit up the internet if you need inspiration from that. But you just have to, there's no submit button on this. As soon as you bring one of those up, it's a live document, so I'll be able to see you typing it. While they were in class today, I was seeing people type it. So as soon as I see that you got the 3 questions done and submitted, you'll be able to do that. And then I'm just going to bring this up on the screen for a little bit so you can see those 3 questions just out there. Your name and hour, what's the lab, brief description of how you're going to do it, and then are you able to get all the materials? Answer for me those 3 questions, plus give me your name, and we'll be good to go as far as today is concerned. If you have any questions about what we're doing today in class, do not hesitate to email me. But with that being said, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.